Ahoy there, mateys! Welcome aboard the Riff, Raff podcast. We are the pirates of the spicy waters. Come along with us and hoist the sail. We're navigating life through story and tale. We'll help you embrace the way you're wired, sharing laughs and lessons to get you inspired. If you join us, we will help you see there are a lot of ways to sail the spicy sea.
Lady, but today I'm the TikTok lady, not that
No,
TikTok.
usually you're the talk lady. Yeah, exactly.
The too much talk lady. That's the problem. Good morning and welcome to Across the Desk. The Riff Raff squad is in town. So yeah, I'm not sure what Maddie's doing with their face, but that's okay. They're trying to wake up. So whatever means necessary. If you're watching the video, that was pretty.
Exactly. Just imagine toothpicks, holding the eyes up.
Well, there's a cartoon with that, isn't there? I want to say
There's
there's like a Looney Tunes.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of like Clockwork Orange, but funnier.
It's Doc
Never watched that
Orange.
Movie.
Yeah. What's up, Doc? I'm trying to stay awake.
So with last week's session, so right now you could be listening to these completely out of order, which is totally fair because we are completely out of order right now. We're working on some fine tuning for our intros and exits and video and all that kind of stuff. So God only knows what order you're listening to this in. But our last session was all about, or the beginnings about AI. And we did that one, and that one was post us being at Cal's, right, Maddie?
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we started to get into the benefits and challenges that AI can present. And of course, our particular focus is for the neurodivergent community. And then Paul came on this morning and shared a great thing that 3D printing can, as we segue. You want to share it, Paul?
Do I want to share it?
Yeah.
It's for you. I wouldn't print this for me.
So, full disclaimer. So what it says is, giddy up, sparkle farts, there's chaos to spread. Although, I asked for a dog. That's what it was. I'm not a cat person. Yeah. Or something else. Yeah, that's okay.
Well, I'll take it then because, I am a cat person.
Maddie's very cat person.
And a bunny person, yes. Yeah.
Oh, the rabbit. Oh, that'd be cool. So with the AI, I've just had a couple of things happen that are kind of interesting. And so both Paul and Maddie know way more about AI and what it's doing and whose faces it's going to eat next than I do. But it's intriguing to kind of watch the conversations that are happening and the positives that are happening, right? Supporting individuals with learning differences, creating tools faster and faster, being able to modify things and not have to pay a huge amount of money to folks who have the skills. I just read an article and it said something that took a company 2 years and 14 engineers to build was modified or recreated or whatever in like a couple of days with one person using whatever tool. I know. Right. So mad scientist. Except
AI.
Maddie.
Hey, full disclosure, I have not had coffee yet, so there you go.
Yes, I know. I'm on your side. Sydney's eyes would have bugged out of their head if they were.
Yeah.
So we'll do a quickie introduction of who's talking at you right now, and then we are missing Sydney Elaine Butler this morning, so our podcast pirates are not complete today. So, Mr. Coleman, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Paul Coleman. How are you? I'm father of 4 neurodivergent children in different levels of spiciness. And I myself have ADHD and as Elizabeth likes to point out, been accused of others.
I didn't say a
Guilty
word.
adjacent. So, yeah, I'm just living life and loving it.
Being spicy,
Yeah,
Arctic LARPer. So,
nice.
Maddie,
I'm Matty Dever. I'm autistic and ADHD and a bunch of other things that would make me a few letters short of a Scrabble rack. And I have four kids who are all autistic, and three of them are also have ADHD, and they also have a bunch of other bouncy things that make them lots of fun.
word. I did not exceed expectations and only have 2 kids. So
Good job.
I did not know catching up. Shop's closed, my friend. Um, nope. So hello, my name is Elizabeth Plouffe, also neurospicy, ADHD, and didn't figure that out until my late 40s, early 50s. Girls of my vintage didn't have ADHD, apparently. We got called all kinds of other things, but not that. Uh, my son Thomas is autistic, dyslexic, and ADHD. My husband is dyslexic. My daughter's going through to get tested for ADHD, which will also reconfirm the whole apple tree situation in our house. And so one of the reasons we do what we do is that we want to make sure the information that you receive is for you, with you, not for you. And that you know the folks that are chatting at you have lived experience behind what they're saying. And Sydney is also very open about their neurodivergence and being autistic and ADHD and all that kind of good stuff. So we just want to make sure you know that the voices that you're hearing have walked your walk in some capacity or another. Everybody's journey is different, but we've got some skin in the game on making sure that this is authentically a neurospicy podcast. So back to AI. So last week we kind of got into, or last AI session, we kind of got into the high levels of it and what we're seeing. And I think we shared Maddie high level. See, I shaved mine off, so I can't do it.
Somehow I knew that would throw you, and I didn't intend it to do that, but it was just like I saw Paul pulling his beard. I saw pulling his beard, so I felt I had to do it. And as I was doing this, like, this is going to distract Elizabeth. But did I stop?
It was funny because I sent a thing before our podcast today to say, look, I'm on a deadline. I have to get to a coaching client. We got to stay on track. Maddie did not read the memo.
Oh, I read the memo, but it doesn't mean I can hold to that.
Well, I'm going to.
We'll hold to that. Well,
I'm going to. Nope. Militant. Nope. There was warning. Nope. Nope. Not today. Not today, sunshine. Today I'm going to be
sparkle first.
Okay. I will say that I have stopped and you've kept going.
I'm trying to not. So AI, what we talked about last time, we had a full day at the recent Autism Leadership Summit around AI. And I think Maddie and I agreed that that session did a bit of a disservice in that I don't think any of the sessions that day showed what is possible using AI appropriately and providing training and making sure folks understand the important aspects of safe use, right? Is there danger with it? 100%.
Yeah.
100%. There's stuff going on that will make you shake in your boots. But is there good stuff? Also 100%. And I think we touched briefly, Maddie, on how it's been able to get you back to your tech roots and being able to make use of those skills again.
Mm-hmm.
Part of Maddie's intersectionality, to give some context, is that they've had some accidents and surgeries that have impacted their ability for fine motor. So typing a lot and doing those types of things, really strenuous. Would you be able to sort of guesstimate, Maddie, from a productivity perspective, what AI has been able to restore for you?
Okay, I was actually having a conversation with somebody last night that I'm starting to coach a bit. So there's different things that I've been using over the last year and a half. one of the struggles I have is I'm really good at making content. Like I'm really good at writing. I'm really good at talking. Um, but then once I've done that, using it for another purpose has been a real challenge for me. And I don't have the energy to create lots of new stuff, right? But what I have done, I want to use. So, AI's allowed me to summarize things. AI's allowed me to split things out into multiple smaller things that I can then work with to use. AI, there's a tool that I use called Reclaim AI. I started using it about a month and a half ago. That takes a look at my calendar and takes a look at my tasks. I also use Google Tasks, and it spreads tasks throughout the empty spaces I have in my calendar, and in a way that like reminds me to do some of these small things. I like a really good ADHDer. I got lots of lists. Like a real ADHDer, I don't always get to that list. I use a sort of a Kanban approach, which is several different lists that I can move things from one list to the next as I get to it. But I had one list a few months ago called "Do It Now," and I looked at that list because I've had that list for a while, and I had one thing on it for 159 days about "Do It Now." Now
But
the
that
thing
data
is,
is so important. That data
yeah,
is so important. And that's one thing we talk about a lot is that data point. We offer, Maddie and I co-facilitated Employment Works. There's a point to me interrupting Maddie. So there's a comma in there somewhere, but there's a point, folks, for me to interrupt Maddie at this point. One thing that we talked about, our folks in Employment Works are all neurodivergent, and they had no data to show them the last time they had looked for a job, worked on their resume, networked, or whatever. And no matter what we tried to do, it was a real struggle. So the fact that you shared that is huge because it shows how important it is to be tracking those things that you're doing. Thank you for
yeah,
sharing that. I really
yeah.
appreciate it.
So I
159
realized,
days.
yeah, 159 days was the oldest task that I had in that particular list, and I realized, okay, that like having a list saying "Do it now" wasn't getting me to do it now, and it's like I had to look at how I prioritized tasks, but the thing is, having lists and tasks having calendar and tasks in two different things, two different places,
Mhm.
means that if you're I looking at the right now on my left, to me I have a screen and it just has my calendar on it. I see my calendar all day long unless I'm doing some coding, and then I look at I use it for a different purpose, but for the most part I see my calendar all the time. My calendar's on my watch. My calendar's on my phone. Like I live the calendar is like one of the views I lived in life. Because I'm very, 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 very visual. But having a task someplace else means that I have to remember to go to it to see what's there. So this AI, what it
Executive
did is
function.
it's started to put them. It asked me like, how much today do I want to do this stuff? Do I want to have times where I don't do tasks? And it started throwing it in there. And now, so I got a lot like, that first week. I got so much more done. All these small little tasks that they were on the list, so I never really got to them. They got done, and it let me see that some tasks do take more time, and it takes me being in a particular space, so I can move them to where I want them. But the tasks are integrated with the calendar, and that made a huge difference for me. And I feel like I've been more productive between just the other uses of AI, but this particular one, because I have time in between I have time in between meetings. I have time in between appointments, but trying to figure out how to manage that time and make it productive and useful and not exhausting had eluded me for quite a while. Elizabeth and I have had many conversations about this, and it's made a huge difference for me. And um, it's not perfect, but it's been an
That's
N level
better.
jump. It's been an N level jump for me.
We'll have
Maybe
to
you
sit
said
down
something.
someday, Maddie, because I need that.
I'm coming
Need
to
your
you
help.
next, Miss Coleman.
And
So
on the
here's the
other
thing.
end of the spectrum, we have Paul.
let's do the round of the circuit of the spectrum. Yeah,
So
actually,
we use
the
a
spectrum with
variety
us
of
is more like
tools.
a dart. The spectrum with us is more like a dartboard. Where are we today?
Wrong. I used AI a little while. So I've moved a little bit away from Chat GPT. I paid for the Google Suite for my company. So our team uses Gemini, Notebook LM, and then we have Claude for building. And then Jason Little, who's CTO, also uses GitHub and some other, we got a lot. Um, and what was interesting was that I put into Notebook LM, I think I put in like all of our Enneagram results and some other stuff and asked it, I'm like, so how do you manage, how can a team, because I didn't say manage because I don't want to manage anybody. That's not my, uh, how, what challenges could a team consisting entirely of neurodivergent individuals with a combination of diagnoses ranging from ADHD to ASD to like all the other, and it literally came back and went, wow, that's a lot.
RESPECT.
But AI came back and said, wow, that's a lot. And I went, not just me. Okay. That makes sense why it can be a little. So one of the things is, to Maddie's point, they said they feel like they've done a lot. And that's an important differentiator because they also have the data, to back it up or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I did a lot. Was I productive? On reflection at whatever time o'clock at night? There's noise in the background come from somewhere.
C'est ne pas moi.
And if I'm one, we'll see. Paul's like, I'm not muting. Damn it. But that's something
on us.
that's something that a lot of teams that I'm working with. I'm working with a lot of bigger teams and looking at their Enneagram types, and then if they choose to share whether they're neurodivergent or not, that has a lot to do with managing effectively and productivity and using tools to help with that, to kind of offload some of the decision making, right? Paul and I have talked about this before as well, around decision making fatigue and all of the things, right? As both of you are busy parents of 4 kids, plus managing your own businesses, plus managing projects, like that's a lot. And then you add, the letters after our names after that, and stuff falls off, in Paul's case, the Santa sleigh. Like he's tossing elves left, right, and center. Or jingle bells. Jingle bells is a better visual. What kind of
I
stuff do
love
you
the
struggle with?
tossing elves visual now. It's what I'm going to see.
That's not right. That's not okay. It's not okay. But Paul, what kind of stuff do you find now that you're more aware, right? Because you became aware when your kids were diagnosed. You've got a huge background in, tech and development and all kinds of nice tools. What have you found has made life easier for you? Or are we still working on that?
Well, we're definitely still working on that. We're definitely still
Okay.
working on that. Now, I've used AI for lots of other things, but I haven't used it for, and this is kind of eye-opening for me because I do struggle with tasks and challenges with my calendar, and one of my biggest things is task avoidance, and
Oh yeah, me too.
anything like having to do my books or invoicing or things like that, or
I
setting
am
up
aware of the
my
invoicing
calendars.
avoidance.
Yeah, it's a no-go for me. So I'd really like to dive deeper into that. It's one of the probably the next things.
Yeah.
I build e-learning in my other life. That's what pays for me being around and a roof over my head. So it's AI has really changed a lot of how we do that in a lot of ways. I love the fact that you can give it something you've developed or written and then say, how accessible is this, or, what can you,
That's huge.
so we develop a lot of stuff for trades. And a lot of new people coming into trades because of being in Canada and the world we live in are English as a second language. So when we write our stuff, we will put it into AI and say, please reword this with an ESL lens so that we're not using too much vernacular that would be difficult, right? So we can just make it simpler for people to understand. It's great,
Yeah.
So
I use it a lot to so I use ChatGPT for my sort of thinking. I use Gemini for image development, and I use Claude for everything technical. So like and I have a process of getting my thoughts structured, and then I get and I use Canva to fine tune the things. Right now, so for the last 11 years, I have wanted to do a post a day in the month of April for Autism
congrats, by the way.
Acceptance Month. Yeah, and today's the last day. Today's day 30, and I have because of the tools that AI has allowed me to plan, as well as to structure, as well as to help me with the images. I throw every image that I do into ChatGPT and I say, create an alt text for me. So and sometimes I say, okay, is there any way of making this a little bit simpler, because I want a wide audience to be able to hear this stuff. I've been able to post every single day this month, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I was able to say, AI, hey, go through all of the things that I've written and help, give me take the themes that I've written in it and give me a structure for the month. Didn't follow that structure, because some things pop up and it's more, it's like, I need to do this today. I get this is more a better message for today. But it
but
gave me
it's
a
just
structure.
like the ADHD. It's the ADHD response. Like, thanks for making that, but
so yeah. Well, here,
no, I would do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, here's our family motto: make the plan, execute the plan. The plan goes off the rails, throw away the plan, and improvise a new plan. And that's kind of what. But if you don't have a plan, it's so much harder to do the next thing.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm so glad you said it. I'm so glad you did it. That's to what Paul just said. Task avoidance is a real thing, by the way. He wasn't being facetious.
Oh,
that is an inherent. Yeah. Oh no, I know you know, but we have other folks hopefully listening. So task avoidance is a thing with ADHD that can be a real problem, and there's no logic behind it from my perspective and my experience with it. You just literally can't get it done in that moment. And Maddie said something very important around state of mind and flow. So I have done my best. Brene Brown is somebody that I just adore and says a lot of smart things. And she struggles with this. And she really struggled with structuring her day and assigning. She felt like that was too constraining and yada, yada, yada. And then she said something that was really important. And it's changing the way I look at my calendar. And I'm working on it, which is when you structure your day, however you choose to do that, it actually gives you more freedom because you know what's coming. You're not caught off guard and then have to pivot and shift out of flow into something else. And can you assign blocks for creativity? My brain doesn't work that way, but for the stuff that Paul and I have struggled with, which is I also don't like accounting, but I do like paying Paul. So, I need to get invoices and, assigning those things would actually make my life easier. So I have done some of that. I assign the stuff that I don't want to do because I know I have to get it done. And it doesn't matter if I don't like it. I'm saying this to myself because it's going to bite me in the bum either way. So that point, Maddie, around structuring time, is something that AI could really help that ADHD brain with, recognizing that if you consistently come up against it and ignore what's in your calendar, AI can't fix that.
Yeah.
That system is not then working for you. So please don't be, if you've tried this, please don't beat yourself up that you're still not productive or still not successful or whatever. Something's not working in the system, and we need to find a different way. You've got to test, evaluate, and pivot if needed, which Maddie's done with the tools that they've built.
Yeah. So one of the things that is important is that there's a reason why there's all kinds of different tools, because people work very differently. So the way ChatGPT works, okay, so ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, they Copilot, they all have a similar thing where, you go into the thing and it asks you to prompt them. But how they work with that prompt and how they come back to you, each one has its strengths and its differences. I'm not going to say weaknesses, but like there's things that are going to be work for you in a way that you think, and there's others that are. I don't find Gemini's good for me to have the conversations with. I just and maybe it's just because I've been using ChatGPT for longer, and ChatGPT kind of knows my voice really well. Which you have to be careful. You have to, because I do have to throw it sometimes. I have to intentionally tell it to respond to this or evaluate this in a different voice. And it's really funny. We talked last week about, needing to look at the opposite. And later on that day, I had to do that. There was a really stressful situation happening, and it was really rah-rahing me, and I'm like, okay, so I know how you're evaluating it in my eyes, but I need you to have a different voice and evaluate this. So I'm hearing, a different perspective. And ChatGPT is good for that. So everybody has like a different way of looking at a different way of thinking. So if something's not working for you, it's not like, don't just drop AI, right? It's that tool. Just like some people have a real hard time using Excel and they find Google Sheets so much easier. Some people is the reverse. They hate the way Google works. They get so frustrated, and they really love, they love going back to Excel because it's what they know. There's a reason why we have different tools and different technologies.
I go both ways.
Same here. I'm just full of sheet.
You can get one in.
Excel, so accelerate your breath.
Again, Madame Dever has had no caffeine. So when we look at that, though, Paul, what have you found? Because I know you work with a team that bring in a lot of different tools and test a lot of different things. I personally would find that very discombobulating. Here's a new tool. Here's a new tool. I found this tool that does this. I would lose my mind. And I did that for a short period of time in order to try and accommodate somebody on the team who needed different supports. Can AI help you determine what tool is the best tool for the job? Have you done that with it yet? Your face says not me.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think. I have asked, can you do this particular task I want to do? And it's been honest and said, no, I can't do that yet. And I've said, can you find me a tool that, like, where should I look? Or it may even say, you may want to check out, and it'll recommend a competitor product.
Yeah.
Which it's powerful that way. But one of the interesting things is, because we develop like technical training, it's interesting to see how the different, because I use Gemini and ChatGPT. My development partner uses Claude. I can't say it.
Claude.
It should be French. It's Claude.
It should be Claude. It should be Claude.
I say Claude.
But everybody else says Claude.
I know, it drives me insane.
I don't know.
It's a piece of dirt. People.
My grandfather's name is Claude.
At least they didn't name it Vaz.
My son's middle name is Claude.
And then, All these
Vase.
psychopaths call it vase.
Wow. I mean, you're not wrong.
Anyway, but it's interesting because we always work with SMEs or subject matter experts to make sure that what we're doing is right. But they're not always available, right? So sometimes we'll fire a question off that's technical to them, and either to validate or so that we don't have to run to them for this small little piece that we can get clarification on. And the differences in the answers will be quite vast sometimes. Like I've had two of them be dead wrong and one of them be right when it comes to a technical thing.
Okay,
because
is the AI right and the SME is wrong, or the other way around?
No. I'm saying like when we had the SME give us the what we needed, and then we needed some clarification on some stuff. So instead of going back to them because they were busy, we just wanted some clarification on like a little piece of that off to the side of that. And so we went to the AI and asked, and my partner came back and said, well, this is what I got. And I'm like, that's wrong. The way I understand it, that seems wrong. So we take the same prompt that she used and put it in the other two. And suddenly, ChatGPT was wrong, Claude was wrong, and Gemini was right. But a lot of times it's because of, I think it's context.
Yes.
When we teach technical training, we talk about shop talk and we talk about different language used in different jobs and different things. Like a really simple one is if I said to you, go get me a tap, right? Well, if you were a plumber, you'd go get me a tap. If you were
we did that yesterday. That's kind of funny.
If you were in a machine shop, you'd go get me something that cuts threads, right? It's two different things. A tap to make threads is called a tool to make threads. It's called a tap, and to a plumber, a tap is a tap, right? So, I mean, they understand what a tap is too because they deal with threads. But it's you know what I'm saying? Like, there's the same word can do different things.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you ask an AI something, you have to be really specific. And it may still pull from the wrong thing, the wrong.
You have to have a body of knowledge going into it for that kind of expertise. Jason's got a tool that, and I can't remember the name of it, but I'll find out. And what he does is he loads the threads from like 3 different tools into this other tool and has it analyze all the answers that have, I mean, it starts to get a little nuts after a while. And then it goes, oh no, this one is 50% right. This one is, 90% right. And this one is like 10% right.
Yeah.
The one thing folks wonder, I know Maddie's got a deep thought that they want to jump in with. One of the reasons that we're talking about this is it is really important to understand, regardless of what AI spits out, you have to have the ability and some knowledge base to parse out what it's saying and validate it yourself. I had a person come into Employment Works. They brought me their resume. It was not great. And so we gave them some constructive feedback, some things they needed to work on, and said, we need you to go and evaluate and then bring it back. This person had very, very limited employment skills. I think this was before Maddie. I think this was before you had joined the team.
That's right. I'm thinking of another thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm usually the not the bad guy, but the person who has the tough conversations. So I took them aside and said, okay, like let's talk about your resume. I see you've done some work, so that's great. I can't tell you what's happening in my head because it had some swear words in it. And I said, so we need to go over a couple of things. Now, this person's work experience, just for context, was 2 weeks pushing a broom in a concrete factory. And that is honest work. It's good work. Nothing wrong with that. My husband is a triple ticketed tradesman. My son is in trades, not smack talking manual labor. However, I don't know what prompt this person put in. I don't know what they were trying to do. But one of the things that came back said, created a program that increased company morale by 15% in whatever time period. And I went, tell me more about that. Because 2 weeks pushing a broom on the night shift, I'm wondering how you implemented a program that, improved company morale. And it was just point after point. One had to do with, reworked communication system or whatever, liaised with team members and like, okay, so folks, here's the thing. If whatever AI pumps out for you, you can't understand or explain, then something's gone sideways and you can't use that information.
Yeah.
Okay. If you are choosing to use AI, which I've done, I've put my resumes through it and said, I was at a point where I was like, should I go back and be an employee? I've been an entrepreneur since 2013, committed. And then before that, well, so that's what AI said. I put in my resume, a version of my LinkedIn profile, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like,
sorry,
so could
Dave.
I go back to being employed?
I'm sorry, Dave. I can't help you be employed. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry,
I know.
Dave.
I'm like, who would hire me? Right? Who would hire me? I'm not. I'm a really, really good employee, but I'm a really, really bad employee in that I'm not great at being told what to do, and I'm not great at listening to dumb people, and I know, shocking. I managed to stay gainfully employed for 30 years, I might add. So, just not consistently. So, there were some changes. There were some pivot moments. A little bit. So, my point is, I have run 3 different, job programs. I have run a Medical Secretaries Association of Ontario job bank for 7 years. Autism Job Club for the last 10 years. I have, 2.5 years in Employment Works looking at resumes and evaluating. So you put that together, I've got about 20 years of looking at resumes and understanding job descriptions. I can look at that and immediately see on that other person's resume. GPT was blowing some smoke.
Does not compute.
It did not compute.
Well,
but then when I asked them,
yeah.
Did you write this? Oh yes. I'm like, you can't even explain what this means. I literally duded him. I was like, dude.
Dude.
If you can't explain it to me, you didn't write it. So sorry, it was such a giggle because it happens. We want to encourage folks who struggle to use AI appropriately. If you are building things, if you are doing it for resumes and employment, if you are using, for an example, Notebook LM, and you're putting in the job description, and then you're putting in your resume, and you're saying, hey, am I a good fit for this? I'll also ask it maybe why you're not a good fit for this.
Mm-hmm.
And if it spits out a resume for you, that's amazing. If you're like my husband, dyslexic, and doing all that kind of stuff is a challenge, please ask for another set of eyes to take a peek for you. It's super important. AI can absolutely help productivity, can help development, it can help you move forward in employment, but it does not replace human support of some kind.
AI
Go ahead, Maddie.
AI, you get out of AI what you put into it. I think we said that last week. The other thing, so AI can sometimes be not trustworthy because it will hallucinate things. Let me just roll back.
Oh, it's sociopath.
If you do not give it a good, if you give it a really loose prompt, it's going to try to fill in the blanks because you didn't give it enough. The more you prompt, the better, the closer you're going to get to the results you're looking for. But it's not only the chat GPTs that we have to be aware of fluffing resumes. It's also sister GPTs that may edit your resume to embellish it.
Paul and I are both looking at you rather quizzically. So what?
Oh, just so we had a situation where a sibling had assisted in editing a resume, and we realized that It's not necessarily.
Well, fair. My husband was helping my son edit his resume, and I was like, "This is like the blind leading the blind," because we have two dyslexics. Right? Like two dyslexics walk into a room and try and craft a resume, and I'm like, "I have a postgraduate in corporate communications. I was in the gifted program for English and communication all through high school. Hello, I
Yeah,
am your
yeah.
AI."
No,
Oh yeah,
it's the it's really all about the prompt. You have to know what you want to get out of it to be able to prompt us. So if there's something that I would recommend people do is really, if you're Googling how to AI, look at how to prompt and look at some examples of prompts and what comes out of
sure.
that. Because if you can visualize the end, it's much easier to give whatever AI the instructions to do it well. And going back to what you're saying, like sometimes an AI will know that it can't do something, but it has a strength. Like for example, ChatGPT is really good at writing technical documents. And what does Claude need to really do well? Technical documents. Claude doesn't do well with you asking it abstract things to create the technical document. It will do all kinds of things that isn't necessarily what you asked for. But ChatGPT, it's its strength. So I tell ChatGPT, here's all of my thoughts. Give me a technical document that I can then put into Claude, and it knows then how to format it in a way that Claude's going to do better. The one of the interesting things is right now, the
You got
AIs
2 minutes.
are really working well together. They all have their own thing, but they do have the ability to know how the other ones are working, knowing that they do have some gaps in how they do things, and people have choice.
All right, there's a dog in the background. It looks like Paul, is your Poochie having a conversation? Gotcha. Okay.
Doggone
So
it.
we're doggone it. We're short
Oh, it's
today
time.
because it's time. Elizabeth has to skedoodle. But our main point of sharing today was building on, we're going to have another conversation about this. One, we're not jumping on a bandwagon. I've been to so many conferences recently where there's too much time dedicated to AI. And for me, it's not from a practical component, right? I don't think from CALS, for an example, the leadership summit, anybody came out of it with things that they could actually apply or use cases for, how to support people who are learning how to use it. Like that's what we need to do. Um, if you're afraid of using it, that's fair. There's a lot of fear mongering going on. There's safe ways to give it a try, and maybe it is asking somebody to do it with you, right? Learn together. Don't use it for important things right off the bat. To Maddie's point and to Paul's point, you need to learn about it first.
Mm-hmm.
Use it with safe things that not that they don't not matter, but look at the body of knowledge you have that you can be the brain, evaluating what it's saying. Look at it from a perspective of poking holes in it. So ask it to be a jerk. We talked about that earlier in this one. It will blow smoke. It is designed to be almost sociopathically nice until you ask it not to be. And it's really important that you ask it not to be. It's really important that if you're, go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, going back to what I was saying about how, uh, we asked three different AI models a technical question, and two of them were blatantly wrong. Um, brings up a big worry for me that, like technical stuff can be proven, right? Can be proven wrong. But so many
Yeah.
people use AI for like asking it questions about life and about, you know, soft stuff like that, even spiritual stuff, or, like it's not
I
a
do
guy,
periodically.
you have to be really careful when it comes to this kind of
Oh,
stuff
I am.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna support your view out of the box. It's gonna be raw. And so if you think about that, that can be a really bad thing. if you have a really destructive thought, and
For
you
sure.
go and prompt and say, like, is this something that I should proceed with? Uh, it may say yes when, a normal person would help you see outside of that and outside of the prompt that you're giving it. So just be careful when it comes to stuff like that. As a social
I will
replacement
say,
for a friend,
for sure,
or guidance, it's difficult.
I put in some stuff just to wrap up. I think I've shared this before, but I put in some stuff a few months ago and referenced some deep mental health challenges that I'd had last year and was parsing through some stuff with it. It actually stopped and said, I can't remember which, it was probably Gemini. It actually stopped and said, before we go any further, like, let's check in on this. And where are you at now? And have you asked for help? And do we need to? So several times throughout that chat on that particular platform, it raised an alarm and said, "Hey, girlfriend, like, have you talked to somebody? Have you done this? Have you done that? Where are you at now?" And I completely agree with what Paul's saying. You do have to be 100% careful. Again, it goes back to that body of knowledge that you bring with you. If you haven't done any learning outside of this is one thing we'll wrap up with, is that what they're showing now, and we don't have enough long-term data to show the long-term implications of using AI versus doing your own research or talking to people in continuous learning. But what they are showing preliminarily is that the analogy was AI is removing encyclopedias from our brain shelf. Because we are handing over our thinking process and our learning process to AI and letting it do the research for us, we're actually removing. So, those of us from a certain generation have had that hardwired into our brain. It's not going to take the books off our shelf. But newer generations that aren't being taught how to research themselves, aren't being, encouraged for continuous learning, 100%. Paul's right. When you start to use it in that capacity and you don't bring the experience and the knowledge that you need to navigate that safely, it is dangerous. And if you haven't done that research, if you haven't gone through and been educated and whatever, AI is not a place to have ongoing counseling based conversations. AI will never, ever, ever replace another human being in situations where we are talking about mental health, personal development, anything emotionally based. That is a heart to heart conversation, and AI does not have heart. It does not care about you. It does not have any emotional engagement with you. It is not protective of you. It is not your friend. It is not your buddy. And if you're starting to think that it is, like there's that joke, where was it? Big Bang Theory, where Raj wanted to start dating Siri. And
it was a serious
I think that it was a warning of how some folk who struggle with relationships, who struggle to connect, can turn to technology. And I'm not making fun of this. It's no different than the individuals who end up with and I want to say like a blow up doll, but you can actually get these lifelike dolls that are human sized.
Yeah.
One guy just married this doll. And I recognize that's a tool for some folks. I'm not in any way making light of that.
Yeah.
If that's what you need in your life.
There is a loneliness epidemic right now, and that's another topic for another
conversation.
time.
I 100% agree, but that's really, I guess I should have clarified more. I was thinking like when you're asking it to help you make life decisions, like should I leave this job or should I, like.
Oh no, I agree with you.
Anything like that, it's not getting all the context that somebody close to you would, or a counselor would. It's not going to
100% agree.
Yeah,
I 100% agree, and I think context connects to heart, and AI will never have the treasure trove of details about you and the important things that other people see on a day-to-day basis that provide that context that you need. Go. I know I've been
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you very much for your time.
So we're going to continue this conversation around AI. We're going to continue unpacking that. We do have other topics. We actually do have a communication calendar of different things. This has just been, well, because you've been working in it.
Oh yeah, I know.
Salzburg, Ivan.
I make sound effects.
Plus with, I know you do. But for context for people.
Oh, context.
There is a reason we're talking about it. And I was disheartened after our sessions at the Leadership Summit and how much fear was put into it when I've seen how much it can do good for people who are having different challenges. So I think we just need to wrap some fun and context around that. Thank you for joining us today, folks. We really appreciate it. In the next couple of weeks, you're going to see a big upload of all of the sessions that we've been doing and haven't.
And if you're not hearing this, just because it hasn't been uploaded yet.
Okay. On that happy note, we miss you, Sydney, and we'll see you. We'll hear you soon. Thank you, folks. And Paul, you're going to remember to say goodbye this time.
Yes. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Hey, this is Elizabeth Blue from Spiro Canada, one of your pirates on the Riff Raff podcast team. My fellow pirates include Maddie Dever from Autistic Bridge, Sydney Elaine Butler from Accessible Creates, and Paul Coleman from Creation Designs, who is our very own Arctic LARPing Santa. Thank you for joining us on the Neurospicy Seas, and we wish fair winds to you all.